Okay, recording this video after close of trade Monday, the 11th of April 2011. Hope your trading went well today. We closed down at 1320, about 1.3 million contracts traded, and this level of 1330 that I talked about on the weekend's video was absolutely key. Don't think this move is over just because yeah, we're sitting at this support resistance level that becomes support kind of here on the better sine wave, but we're not seeing a decent 1+% kind of down move and some kind of flushing out type volume to put a low in. We've got kind of tax time at the moment, which is kind of seasonally a weak pattern just because people kind of sell equities to raise cash to pay taxes. So still got a downside bias, but we did have kind of exhaustion selling at the end of the day, so we might get a little bit of a bounce tomorrow. Just looking through my tick charts, highest time frame tick chart first, the 40,500 tick bar chart. You can see now we've closed below this cyclical support level here on the 40,500 tick bar chart. So kind of quite a lot of selling volume today, but now we're in a downtrend really unless this kind of holds. We've got downtrends on these highest time frames, so this has still got to kind of work out in terms of pullbacks and end of trends. So I'd be looking for short entries tomorrow. Coming down one time frame, 13,500 tick bar chart, you can see Friday's activity where we kind of sold off all these blue professional bars, kind of come in exhaustion selling. And on today's activity, we just kind of overshot the cyclical turn, and then all the professionals kind of come in at the end of the day. We get a flush signal there, so a little bit of a double bottom type pattern. But we're starting to look like we're below this cyclical support area, so that could be turning into a trend move. And then if I go down to the 4,500 tick bar chart, same thing. We're in a trend move here. We kind of broke below this on this leg down, tested back up with an amateur bar and down again kind of exhaustion selling on the downside, but we've still got to see these moves kind of resolve in terms of pullback and end of trend. So still looking for more weakness kind of tomorrow. It'd be a question of kind of entering on decent pullbacks. Today's activity was really interesting. 1330 was absolutely key. Talked about this on the weekend's video. This bar here, this up bar, and when we broke below it on Friday's activity, just showed exhaustion buying, professionals here taking profits, and we just rolled over at this point. And that was 1330. We came back up twice during the morning session to test it. First of all, in the overnight session after the open on the Sunday, that was the level printed up here, which is 1330 exactly as a resistance level on better sine wave. And then during the open of Monday's activity, we come back up to test it. Blue professional bars come into it, double top, bang, we sell off. And so that was a beautiful move. Every time we kind of came back to test here into a cyclical resistance level up in the 28s, blue professional bars kind of sank, and then as soon as we kind of sank below this support area, that means we're into a downtrend here. But we've had exhaustion selling, we've had blue professional bars kind of come in, so we get a little bit of a bounce, but we still need to see pullbacks and end of trends. So that's why I'm saying the move is not over yet. When I go down to some of the 1500 tick bar chart, let me just show you that. I was trying to get short right after the open here with it's almost like an icebreaker trade. Looked kind of good, professional up bars, break of the low of the professional bar, bearish divergence kind of coming down here. I mean, it didn't break the low of the blue professional bar until later on. I tried to enter here, and this move was just good for a point in my favor. Then I didn't get out at that point. I was expecting continued weakness, and so kind of reversed. I beg pardon, didn't reverse, took a loss of 1.25 points. However, as soon as we kind of came back into this 1330 level, entered short, and I'll show you the signal on the 500 tick bar chart was kind of good. Blue professional bars coming in here, exhaustion buying, and we kind of reverse go the other way. I was out for 3 points on this move, kind of down here. Re-entered actually at 26.5 around here. Was way too early. I had to sit through a whole load of junk. There's 2 points just backwards and forwards, and the market got incredibly slow. But eventually kind of broke and took me out of my 4-point target at 22.50. Kind of down here, which was really good. And then we kind of continued to go. The end of the day, we kind of had end of trend on the 1500 tip bar chart, kind of overshot it a little bit extra, exhaustion selling on the downside, and so that was kind of a useful kind of end of trend signal at the end of the day. I just didn't, it's not in me to hold these things. I got out at the 2250, and I think I made a comment in the video just saying I should be holding to the pullback move. But what you do is you kind of sit through this retrace, which is always kind of psychologically tough, and then at the end of the day, what have you got extra? I suppose this end of trend is at 19.5, so suppose you can get another 20.5, 2 points in that move, but as I say, it's just not in my DNA. 500 tip bar chart, just show you that. When we kind of made this exhaustion buying move up at 1330, had a pullback, and you can see testing back into that after that pullback was made. Amateur up bars kind of going in here. They just never made it to an end of trend warning signal. We collapsed down here. That's where I took my short entry, and then the end of trend kind of captured this first leg kind of down, which was pretty handy. And then at the end of the day, we get the final end of trend warning signal right at the bottom, Rambo pattern, exhaustion selling, and so on. So good day for the better indicators, good day for me. So I hope your trading went well today. I'll tag on my day trades so you can see them. Okay, just gone short at 26.75. It's Monday morning, 11th of April 2011. And got this kind of short bias today. Talked about it on the video on the weekend. Came up in the overnight session Sunday evening up to 1330, which I thought was this kind of magic number. After kind of Friday's activity, we kind of sold off there. We're kind of testing back up, still on a downswing on the 4500 tip bar chart, kind of coming back up to test this type of level. A couple of blue professional bars, and I suppose this is an icebreaker trade really on the 1500 tip bar chart. Kind of break of the blue bar here. We've had flush signals and exhaustion buying on the 500. Now we're kind of rolling over with the bearish divergence patterns here. It's kind of going against me at the moment, but anyway, so it's just short 26.75. Okay, just out at 28 even for 1.25 point loss. Just going to sit and watch this for a while. We kind of started to move in our favour down here, up down to 25.75, but the cyclical level on the 1500 tip bar chart held, and we're kind of breaking up through 28. No blue professional bars kind of yet, although we've had one on the 500 tip bar chart. Just going to sit back and watch this, see where it goes from now. And just some looking at it, we've now had a blue professional bar kind of coming on the 1500 tip bar chart as we're coming up to a cyclical turn kind of approaching. We'll probably get an exhaustion buying signal here, so just out and waiting. Okay, just a couple of minutes later, and we've come back up to 1330 even, the kind of the magic number I was talking about on the weekend's video that we hit in the overnight session. And what do you know? Exhaustion buying, blue professional bars on the 1500 tip bar chart, a couple on the 4500 tip bar chart. Now all I'm looking for is, ideally on the 500 we'd see a pullback and an end of trend, and some kind of pushback up to 1330 with a testing type bar, so an amateur up bar on the 1500 tip bar chart or something like that would be, kind of a signal to go short at this level. So just waiting and watching. Okay, just got short at 28.75 and came back up to test. You can see here amateur up bars on the 500 tip bar chart. This is actually a kind of blue professional up bar on the 1500 tip bar chart. Made a pullback level, didn't make an end of trend. Looks like we kind of just turned around and gone the other way. It's possible we could come back up, we come to this level and then kind of bounce back up and actually do form a proper kind of end of trend signal, but sometimes if the move is weak and we get a reversal of trend, it just kind of gets going. So we've had our exhaustion buying on the upside here. All the blue professional bars have come in. 1330 levels kind of critical, and we're breaking down. So hopefully this goes my way and goes my way quickly. Just a couple of minutes later we came into a Rambo pattern here, amateur down bar. No supply after that, bullish divergence. So it looks like I'm just going to have to sit through a little bit of retrace going on here until we get this kind of cyclical turn on the 500 tip bar chart. But I'm happy to hold. 1330 is a critical level, 4-point stop. So sitting at 32.75, so it's a ways away from this, and it could easily break. So this is kind of breaking down anyway. So yep, to 28 even. So this might have legs and go now. So that's fine. Okay, a few minutes later, this is kind of moved in our favour nicely, but kind of coming into some a bit of resistance here. We had some Rambo patterns, then followed by professional bars kind of down here, kind of a bit of bullish divergence, and we kind of kicked back up to 727.25. But really, that was an amateur kind of up bar going up there. You can see it kind of more clearly on the 1500 tip bar chart. We kind of came back down quickly. And we're just sitting on this ledge at 26, and the next kind of area that we'd find support is going to be about 25.50, but on 1500 tip bar chart, no blue professional bars yet, and really to see the end of this move we'll be seeing a similar kind of blow off pattern on the downside on the 1500 tip bar chart to this exhaustion buying on the upside here. So holding tight, kind of still short. So my initial target is at 24.75, but I've moved that out to 22.75. So let's see where this goes. Okay, I just got cold feet, came out at 25.75 for 3, and came within a quarter point of the original 4-point target, but it just said I'd kind of moved that anyway. But the reason for getting out was 25.50 was the kind of the previous low for the day. 500 tip bar chart, we had all these blue professional bars kind of come in, bullish divergence on. This last little bar was an amateur down bar here, and as soon as we kind of broke to the high of that, that's kind of a testing down. So we're going to have a little bit of a retrace here. So it's kind of silly to sit through a retrace. There'll probably be a better entry kind of as we come up here, so might as well just be out with 3. I know there's nothing on in terms of blue professional bars on 1500 tip bar chart, but it's all kind of Rambo stuff here, so the professionals will kind of re-enter as we retrace back here. So I'd rather kind of take that and kind of shoot for another kind of move down. We've got a cyclical turn coming up with the 500 tip bar chart, just kind of waiting to see a little bit of strength, maybe kind of another blue professional bar up here, and then we'll kind of re-enter and go short again. So out of that at 25.75 for 3. Okay, a couple of minutes later, and it's funny, the original 4-point target just got hit, and it was just as an end of trend warning signal came on the 500 tip bar chart and a blue professional bar on the 1500 tip bar chart. So kind of trying to second guess these things and finesse things. Sometimes just easiest just to hold on, wait for the target to be hit and be out. But anyway, so not worried about that. It's going to be a little bit of a bounce from here. We've come into this level at 25. First of all with Rambo patterns and amateur bars on the 1500 tip bar chart. Now we've hit a blue professional bar down here. It's coming up to a cyclical turn on the 4500 tip bar chart, but not yet. And we've not seen exhaustion selling on the downside. I mean, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of really weak in terms of selling here. So therefore that means we've got to see a second cyclical turn after the 500 tip bar chart. So the move will probably continue down. Just trying to check and see if we're just going to break through this low and just kind of keep on going, or bounce back up to something like this around 27.50 would be a logical place to kind of get back in, which will be kind of support turns into resistance on the 1500 tip bar chart at this level here. So let's kind of wait and see. Okay, just got short at 26.50 and didn't kind of make it up into the 27.50. Thought we might around there, but got an amateur kind of bar around here on the 500 tip bar chart. Kind of Rambo patterns, amateurs right up here. Cyclical turn kind of setting up, so might be a little bit early on this. But this isn't over, so we need to see kind of exhaustion selling on the downside before this move is over. So although we've had a cyclical kind of support level coming on the 4500 tip bar chart, just it's not over. We've still got to see that exhaustion selling on the downside. So short at 26.50. And this trade is taking forever to work out. Back down at 26.50, having sat through all this garbage up and down here. Last kind of breakdown that we had was this blue professional bar on the 1500 2-bar chart. We kind of came back to test the highs. Fairly weak buying, kind of bearish divergence signal here on the 500 2-bar chart, and so we're sitting at this ledge here, and the cyclical turn's coming on the 4500 2-bar chart here. So yeah, we've tested 30, we've tested back up to 28.5, 29. We should be heading back down, I would have thought by now, but as I said, this has just been interminable sitting on this, just waiting for it to break. Okay, hopefully this is professional activity kind of falling through the ice here. The whole series came very quickly, these 3 bars, blue professional bars. We're breaking the lows of those bars, so that's a good thing, and we're broken through support on the 1500 2-bar chart here. So we got cyclical swing in our favor. We've broken into a downtrend on this time frame, so hopefully we'll keep on going. Okay, just a few minutes later, we're kind of breaking down towards the lows of the day. 24.50 was the low of the day, just the 4500 2-bar chart. It's gotten extremely quiet, and you can see this in terms of better momentum. We're just hanging around the zero line here, which just means we're kind of not going anywhere fast. But I'm waiting for some kind of a trend break. We're retesting where we closed on Friday. 1330 was kind of hit, 28 was hit, and we kind of rejected that. So although we got kind of blue professional bars kind of coming in, yeah, here we go, coming in again on the 45, and on the 1500 2-bar chart we had one as well. Rainbow patterns kind of down here, so potentially this is an area of support kind of coming in. I could get out with 2 and just be done for the day. I just think this is going to move a little bit further as soon as we hit 45, so just holding short still. Okay, just got taken out on the profit target at 22.50 for 4, so that was nice. Must admit, I thought 24 was going to hold and we were going to have like a double bottom here, and kind of because we'd had a cyclical turn coming on the 4500 2-bar chart, so I had a pro signal exit kind of earlier on, and I was just waiting for a test back down to 24, but as soon as we reached it, we just broke through it really quickly and kind of we're down on 21s now. Blue professional bars coming in on all these time frames. Be interesting to see where this kind of goes overnight. Just because extreme selling right here, we're probably going to have a little bit of a bounce from here. But anyway, so rocky start with 1.25 loss, then 3-point winner, and then this last one had to sit through a lot of garbage, got in way too early, but it went in my favor in the end and out with 4, so that was nice. And as I'm looking at this, I'm just thinking, we're in a downtrend on the 1500 2-bar chart. This thing's not over until we see an end of pullback and an end of trend warning signal here. And I'm not going to be watching this because I'm off to bed. It's 2:45 here in Sydney. But be interesting to see how this kind of finally plays out. Had this kind of short biased for today. It's kind of worked out well. This 1330 turning point was critical once again, which is kind of interesting. So I'll be interested to see where this kind of finally ends up today.